So welcome to our yoga session. My name is Ram. And so what we'll do today is do a yoga practice for wellness, something that will help you really energize, reduce stress. And if you do it on a regular basis, you'll feel a change both physically and mentally. You'll be able to go through life more effortlessly. So let's start. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll just do some warm-ups. So most of us have been sitting today, working at our desks. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just get on our hands and knees, wrists beneath our shoulders, knees beneath our hips, and we're just going to arch our spine. So as you arch your spine, exhale, dropping the head. As you inhale, sink the spine and look up. So just moving back and forth with your breath. You may feel some things releasing, popping, that's perfectly natural. And just work with the breath. So inhale, look up. Exhale, arch your spine. Inhale, look up. And exhale, arch. Good, and just come back to center. Now we'll just take the dynamic variation. As you exhale, bring your left knee and nose towards each other. Inhale, look back, take the leg up. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. And change sides, bring your right nose toward each other as you exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One last time. Inhale and exhale. Now just, we're going to do a shoulder blade stretch. Inhale up the right arm and exhale through. Resting on the top of your shoulder. And change sides. Inhale up the left arm and exhale through. And once more to each side. Inhale the right arm again and exhale through. Inhale the left arm and exhale through. Good, and now we're going to do our sun salutation to warm up. So we've done this the last few classes. So just stand at the front of your mat, big toes together, heels slightly apart. And just getting ready. Pull up your kneecaps, active quadriceps, roll your shoulders up and back. Weight energy in your fingertips. And inhale and exhale. Inhale, arms up and back, arms parallel with your ears. Exhale, forward bend. You can bend your knees if you need to. And then inhale, right leg back. Take your knees to the floor. Look up. Other leg back. Then exhale, knee, chest, chin. Exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling, drop onto your left knee. Take your right foot forward. And other leg forward. Inhale, up and back. And exhale. We'll do the other side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, left leg back. Take your knee to the floor and look up. Other leg back. Exhale, knee, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop your right knee onto the floor. Take your left foot forward. And other leg forward. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale. And exhale. Good, we'll do once more to each side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, right leg back. Take your knee to the floor. Look up. Other leg back. Knee, chest, chin. Exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop onto your right knee. Take your left foot forward. Other leg forward. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale. And exhale. One last time. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, left leg back. Take your knee to the floor, look up. Other leg back. Knee, chest, chin, exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop onto your right knee, left leg forward. And other leg forward. Inhale. And exhale, release. Good. Now we'll do a few warm-ups before going into our standing sequence. Just sitting on your mat. Bring the soles of your feet together. Bring your feet as close as you can. Press on the thighs with your elbows and just breathe and release. So inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, just bend forward. Don't worry, you may not be able to bend forward very much. That's fine. Keep a nice tall spine. Breathe and release. Use your exhalations to release in the groin. If you want, you can pulse your knees up and down a little bit. Or you can just stay still and just press on the thighs with your elbows. And just release your head and just breathe and release. You just scan your groin. Where is it feeling tight? Your groin, your hips. And where can you soften a little bit? Good, and then gently bring your feet together and just lie on your back. You're going to cross your right ankle below the left knee. Either hold behind, so this hand goes in between your legs. You hold behind the thigh, or you can hold below the knee, whatever's appropriate for you. Just let your head and shoulders completely relax and just breathe and release. Softening in your right hip. You're probably getting quite an intense stretch in your right hip. See where you can release and soften. Good, and release the foot to the floor. Uncross your legs, change legs. Cross the left ankle below your right knee and draw the leg in. Either holding behind the thigh or underneath the knee, where is appropriate. And just let your head and shoulders relax. Breathe and soften in your hip. Good, and release the foot. Uncross your legs, just straighten both legs, shake them out. And now hug your left knee into your chest. Keep the right leg straight and draw the left knee right into your chest. And draw the other knee in. Inhale, exhale, draw the knee right in. And then breathe and release. See whether you can soften the groin. Good, and now hug both knees into your chest. Make a circle with your knees. And just come up to sitting. So sitting with your left leg straight, you're going to support the right leg with your arms. So just support, just hold it how you can, and lift the foot as high as it'll go. You could just hold it like that. If you can hold it like a baby, you could do that as well. If that's not possible, just hold it like this and just keep working that foot higher. The main thing, just support the foot and just let it Take it as high as you can go. That's it. Breathe and release. Again, you should be feeling a nice stretch in your hip. Good, and now we're going to do a variation. So you're going to slide the arm underneath the leg, and you're going to just work the foot as high as it'll go. Slightly different stretch. It works a slightly different part of your hip. Good, and then release. Put your foot onto your thigh, and just sit up straight and just breathe and release. Soften the groin, softening your outer hip. Good, and lift up the leg and release. Other side, support the foot with your hand, whatever is comfortable. So you can put one hand underneath and just work that foot as high as it'll go. Or the other alternative, if that's possible, is to just hold it like a, cradle it like a baby. Good, and now just roll your elbow underneath your leg and just lift the foot as high as it'll go. Good, and then put the foot onto your thigh and just sit up nice and tall and breathe and release. So don't worry about the height of your knee. This is where your body is at this present moment, but that will change with time. Just breathe and release. No need to force anything. Just have that stretch, about 80% of the maximum stretch. That's what you're aiming for in every posture. Good, and then release. And just shake out your legs and just lying on your back. Lie on your back. Palms down. Inhale up the right leg. And exhale, release. Inhale up the left leg. And exhale, release. Inhale up the right leg. Exhale, release. Inhale up the left leg. Exhale, release. Inhale up the right leg. Interlace your hands. Catch behind the thigh. Bend the knee towards your chest. And from here, push to activate the foot. Curl the toes toward your head and start to extend through that heel. That's it. And then make a circle with your ankle. Releasing any tension that built up in your ankle. Circle the other way. You may hear some clicking, and that's perfectly normal. Good. Come back to center. Push through heel and extend the leg. Okay, now we're going to do a variation. So we're going to walk, slide our hand up our leg. Lift your head off the floor and slide your hand up your leg. And just hold it for a few breaths. Good, and slide your hand down and release the leg. Inhale up the left leg, interlace the hands behind the thigh, draw the knee towards your chest, push up through the heel, curl the toes towards your head, and extend your leg. Make a circle with your ankle. Circle the other way. And push through your heel, extend the leg more. Good, and now we're going to do the variation. Slide your hands up your leg, lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Good, and release. Good, and slide the foot forward and release. And now just bend both knees into your chest. Make a circle with your knees. And put your feet flat on the floor. Interlace your hands behind your head and just lift up. So tighten your abdominal muscles and just lift up. So don't strain your back. Just really engage those abdominal muscles to help you lift up. So the stronger your abdominal muscles, the less strain on your back. Good, and release. And hug your knees into your chest. And just roll up to your right side. So we're going to do both poses, so sitting on your mat. And just get your balance. And then you can, if you can still maintain your balance, if this is where it's comfortable for you, just stay here. If you want to try a little further, you can. And just hold the pose. Good, and release. Push on your fists and lift your seat off the floor. And release. And again, going up. And lift up. And one last time. This time, lift your feet off the floor. Good, and release. Okay, now we're going to stretch on our shoulders. So maybe I'll just do it this way so you can see what I'm doing. So sit on your ankles or sit in a comfortable cross-leg position, whatever is appropriate. And then what you're going to do is take the left arm back, work it up your back, as far as it'll go. Take the top arm, lift it, and if your fingers touch, grasp your fingers. Otherwise, just keep lifting up that top elbow and breathe and release. Good, and release. Take the other hand back. So this is my tighter side. Because I use my right shoulder more, this tends to be tighter than the other side. Lift up the other hand and float. If your hands lock your fingers if they touch, otherwise just keep working that top hand and working that bottom hand up. Breathe and release. Good, and then shake out the shoulders. And then we're going to work on another stretch. So put your left arm on your right. And yeah, if you can wrap around the hand, you can do that. Otherwise, just keep your hands where you can get them and just lift up the shoulders. The shoulders tend to get tight from a lot of the typing and sitting at the desk. So this is a good exercise to try and stretch them out and release some of the tension that's built up in the shoulders. If you want more stretch, lift your elbows higher. Release, and then right under left. Keep using your breath, soften in the shoulders. Even if it feels very tight, just keep working and trying to soften. Good, and then release. Then just take your arms up. And you stretch to the side. Good, release. Now we're going to come to our standing sequence. So first we'll start by just standing in mountain pose, big toes together, heels apart. Lift up your kneecaps, roll the shoulders up and back, chest lifted, top of the head floating toward, pulling up toward the ceiling. Nice long spine. Good, and then from here, just inhale up the arms. Inhale, and exhale, release. Inhale, and exhale, release. One last time, inhale, and exhale, release. Good, and then now coming up onto your toes. Extend your arms up, lift as high as you can onto your toes. And then exhale, release. Inhale up, keep breathing, and then exhale, release. One last time, inhale up. Go as high as you possibly can, and then exhale, release. Now we're going to tree pose, shift the weight into your right foot, and put the other foot above or below the knee, wherever you can maintain your balance. So if you have trouble with balance, just keep it a bit lower. And if it's comfortable, you can take it all the way up here onto your thigh and just look at a fixed spot in front of you. And breathe and release. Keep your focus. Eventually, you want to be able to stay in this position for as long as you can, if you can have the ability to do for however long you want. Just concentrate, breathe and release. Good, inhale the arms up and release your leg. Change sides, shift the weight into your left leg. Put your foot on the thigh, inhale the arms up. Keep breathing. Concentrate on a fixed spot in front of you. Good, and then exhale your arms, release. Okay, we're going to do the same thing next. So we're going to take our leg into half roll, shifting the weight into your right leg. You're going to lift up the other foot. You're going to grab the foot with the right hand and just take your hand up and just breathe and release. Let your knee drop. Good, and then exhale, release. Get your balance, take the other foot. Take the arm up. Keep breathing deeply. Good, and then exhale, release. And now we're going to do a thunderbolt pose. So just bend your knees and look up at your hand. Bend your knees. Take a few breaths here. Good. Come on. Interlace your fingers. Turn your palms to the ceiling. And as you exhale, go over to one side. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. And once more to the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Good, and then exhale, release. We're going to go into triangle pose. So turn your left foot out at 90, back foot turned in. Toward the other foot, feeling nice and strong. So the heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Inhale the arms up. Inhale, exhale, bending from the hip. Put your hand onto your shin or ankle and turn and look at your thumb. So try to take that top hand back a little bit, rotating this hip, opening up your chest. Good. Come up, change sides, get your feet set. So make sure your right foot's at 90 degrees, turn in the back foot, And inhale the arms up. Exhale, hand on the ankle and chin, turn and look at your thumb. Working that top arm and that top hip back, opening up the chest. Good, and then inhale, come up, change sides. And then inhale, exhale, put the forearm onto your thigh, and then take the right arm over the right ear. So your shoulder, maybe if your shoulder's stiff, you will just be able to get here. You can also try and work it a bit closer, turn and looking towards your armpit. So having that nice line from the end position at the edge of the mat foot to the tip of your finger, stretching on the entire side of your body. Breathe and release. Good, and change sides. Inhale, exhale. Put your hand onto the thigh. Extend the arms. Turn your head in towards the armpit and push, stretch on the side of your body. From the edge of the foot to the tip of your finger. Good, come up. And we're going to change. We're going to go to warrior three. So this time we're going to turn the back foot so your hips are facing directly forward. Your feet are shoulder width apart. And then you're just going to inhale the arm, bend the front knee, inhale up. Good, and then change sides. Hips facing forward, bend that front knee and extend the arm up. Turn and look up. And change. This time what we're going to do is we're going to go up onto your back foot and then you're going to lift up the back leg. Wherever you can. Keep your balance. If it's harder, keep your leg a bit lower. And extend, that's it. Good, and release. On the side, go up onto your toe. Keep the knee bent to start with. Lift up your hips. Drop your leg, and then you can start to straighten a bit. Good, and then exhale, release. Now just keeping your feet wide and just stretch forward onto your hands. So you can adjust, if that feels easy, you can take your feet a little bit wider. And if you want more, just stay there, if that's enough stretch. If you want more stretch, bend your elbows. You can actually, or you can walk your hands and just bend your elbows and release your head. Use your breath to soften in your leg. Good, and come back up onto your hands. Begin to heel toe your feet together. Tell the hip width apart. Bend your knees. Hold the elbow with the opposite hand. And just release, let yourself hang. Bending your knees deeply, put your hands on your hips, and slowly roll up. So we'll finish our standing sequence. And you can just put your hands, put your hands in reverse prayer position, hips facing directly forward, or you can put it in reverse prayer, whatever's appropriate. Inhale, exhale, and stretch forward. And release your head. Keep breathing. You can bend the front knee a little bit if you need to. And just release into the posture. Release your head. Good, and then inhale, come up. And change sides. Adjust the grip with your elbow. And get ready. Inhale, look up. Exhale, extend the chest forward. And then release the head. Breathe and release. Good. Inhale, come up. And shake our hands. Good, and we'll work on our inverted sequence. So we'll start with dolphin. Have your elbows underneath your shoulder and either stay on your knees or lift up. And doing 10, 1. Inhale as you go back. Exhale as you go forward. Building up your core strength. Good. And then just rest in child's pose. Just make a pillow with your arms and rest in child's pose. Good, and we'll do downward facing dog. Just have your hands underneath your shoulders, and then knees underneath your hips. Curl your toes under, lift your hips. So I want you to keep your knees bent. Lift your hips as high as they'll go first. Lift up, and then release the heels a little bit. Don't let your hips drop, but you can release your hips a bit. So your heels may or may not touch the ground, that's fine. In the beginning, there's a fairly, to get your heels down, it usually takes a bit of time, so don't worry about it. Keep breathing and releasing. And so this is also a good starting point for if you're going to go into handstand, if you showed it last time. So we won't do it in the class because it's difficult to really teach it if you're not out there in person to make sure people are doing it safely. But this is something you could then take this into handstand or hit stand. But that's something we'll sort of build on as we go through the classes. Okay, so now we'll do a back bend sequence. We'll start by lying on our tummy, make a pillow with your arms, turn your head to one side. Lift up the head, take the arms in front, lift. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Lift up your head, arms to the side, inhale, lift. Use your abdominal muscles, lift up, and exhale, release. Lifting up your head, arms behind. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Lift up your head. Take the arms in front, and then try and lift your feet off a bit as well. Keep breathing, and then release. Take it, and then finally bending your heels towards your buttocks. Lift your head up, reach back wherever you can grab. You might be able to get your foot or your ankle, whatever's appropriate. Try and reach back, or maybe it might be just your heel. Just lift up. Wherever you can reach, lift up. And exhale, release. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. Slide back into child's pose. You can rest your forehead on your hands, or you can rest your forehead on the mat and take your hands by your feet. Good. Just inhale, come up. So we'll finish our back bend sequence. We'll just lie down on your back. Feet hip width apart. Hands by your side, palms down. Inhale and lift. Exhale, release. Inhale and lift. And exhale, release. This time, lift up your hips, interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders under, lift up high, and then take one leg up. And release. Take up the other leg. And release. Slide your hands back. Exhale, release. And just bend your knee to your chest. Make a circle with your knee. Good, and roll over onto your right side. And we'll just move on to our forward bends. So we'll start with our right leg in. Right leg straight, left leg in. That's it. Sitting up nice and tall. I want you to think of reach up. And I want you to think of extending forward to the spine. Don't worry about going down. Just bend from the hip, hinge from the hip. Reach, 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 reach. Drop your hand. Release your hand. Breathe and release. Good, and just walk your hands back. Change sides. Left leg forward, right leg in. Inhale, exhale, lengthen forward. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Drop your hands, reach. Keep breathing, releasing. Just keep your concentration. Good, inhale, arms up. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. And again, do the same thing. Extend first. Reach, 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 reach. Drop your hands wherever they are. Release your. Good, inhale, arms up. Exhale, release. Open your legs wide. So it's wide. Help the leg. Just use your hands to just help your leg. That's it. Good. And then we're just go half face to the left. So hold on to your ankle or shin or your big toe. So start with your ankle or shin. Go over to the side. Again, the side of the body can get quite tight from all the office work we do. So this will just help to release. If you're happy here, just stay here. If you want more, if it's possible, reach for your big toe with your finger and just take it a bit deeper. And again, think of just trying to lift your chest, rotate it toward the middle of the room. Rotate your chest forward. Good, inhale, come up. And the other side. And just notice if one side is tighter than the other. I can just definitely feel this side is much tighter than the other side. But as you do more yoga, that'll start to even out. Good. Come up. Just gently take your legs wider and just stretch out to the middle. So wherever you can, don't worry, you may not be able to go that far forward, that doesn't matter. Keep working at it. Breathe and release. Just find that nice working edge. Just reach your head and breathe. Soften in those hamstrings and those hips. Is it tighter in one? Is your hamstrings tighter in one leg than the other? Or your hips tighter? Just take your focus into your hips, into your legs. Just feel where the tightness is. And then breathe and release. Got it. And now gently bring your legs together. Okay, we're going to try a new posture today. Okay, so just watch for a minute if you've never done it. So make sure you're in a plank, but make sure your bum is lifted. You don't want to be a banana. You want to be flat. Now what you're going to do is take the weight into one arm, and you're going to stack the feet on top of each other. If that's too much, you can actually use this foot to balance. Just take the other arm up. Or if you can, just stack your hips and hold it up. So just use your other foot. If you have trouble with balance, then just use your other foot to help you. Good, come back to the middle and just over to the other side. If you have everything you need to take the weight with your bones. If you have everything aligned properly, it's actually pretty easy. You don't really need to use the muscles. You have your bones to support you. Good. Come back to the middle. Okay, and we'll do one final, we'll do crow, which we started last time. So again, spread your fingers, have your hands about shoulder width apart. Bend your elbows, come up onto your toes, bend your elbows. And in the beginning, you may just want to even just take up one side. And as I said, if you're practicing, you'll maybe use a pillow in front and just lift. It's all about balance. It's not so much about power, it's about balance. Just keep trying that a couple of times. So you can just work with the balance and then go up. Good. Good, well done. So it's now time for our closing sequence. So let's do it this way. Just lie down on your back. Have your feet together, arms up to the side. Take your right foot onto your left knee and go over to the left. Then you're just going to make a circle with that top arm. So if you want, you can take the knee to the floor and hold it down with the other hand. And then just gently make a circle with your arm. A full circle. And circle the other way. So remember, the higher, if you want less stretch, take your hand a bit higher from the floor. If you want more stretch, take your hand closer to the floor. And just work through any tight spots in your circle. So this is a really good stretch for your spine and to boost your immune system because you have a lot of lymphatic nodes under your armpit. Good. And then circle the other way. I just got a nice little pop in my back as it released. Good. And then now coming onto your back, changing sides. Put your left foot on your right knee, go over to the right. So you can see you can actually hold it. You can let the knee stay there, or you can hold it down, whatever's appropriate, and just make a circle with the other. And just adjust the height of your fingers. If you want more stretch, come closer to the floor. Less stretch, keep your fingers higher from the floor. Just breathe and release. Let yourself release. And just change directions every 2 or 3 rotations. Changing direction slightly alters the stretch. So just, again, just circle, breathing, releasing. Yeah, just keep changing. Good. And then just release and come to a close. Roll back onto your back. Have your feet hip width apart. Let your feet flop up to the side. Hands away from your body, palms facing up. This allows your shoulders to completely relax. Take a couple of deep breaths. Fill your belly with each in-breath and release. And now just let yourself completely relax into the mat. There's no need to hold anything. The ground will support you. Now squeeze into toes of your right foot. Lift the foot off the floor and release. Squeeze the toes of your left foot, tense the leg, lift it off the floor and release. Squeezing your buttocks, lifting your hips off the floor and release. Making a fist with your right hand, lifting it off the floor. Open your hand wide and release. Make a fist with the left hand, tense the arm, lift it off the floor, open your hand wide and release. Lift up your shoulders, bring your shoulder blades together and release. And now slowly rolling your head from side to side. Keeping it very slow and releasing any tension in your neck. Good, and come back to the center. Finally squeezing all the muscle in your face towards your nose. Make a lemony, pruny face. And release. And now just take the focus to your breathing. And start calming your breaths. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Until 5, then going back to 1. And just let your body completely relax at the mat and keep your focus on the counting. If your mind begins to wander, gently bring it back to the awareness of your body, the counting. Don't let your mind wander. Just keep your focus on your breathing and your body. Good. And take a deepen your breathing. Begin to move your fingers and your toes. And then hug your knees into your chest. And just roll over to your right side, make a pillow with your arms, support your head. And start to open your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. And just push yourself up to sitting. And namaste.